From anger with his brother to a profound connection with his wife, Prince Harry has been an open book for body language experts the last few years. As open as he's been about personal life, the former royal is evidently still going through a lot under the surface. Even a prince isn't immune to getting the jitters before tying the knot with the woman of his dreams. According to body language experts, Prince Harry was apparently feeling the pressure on his wedding day back in 2018. As royal commentator Judy James observed to Harper's Bazaar, like many extrovert guys who are normally the life and soul of any party, Harry's body language on his own big day suggested a man shocked and overwhelmed by the strength of his own emotions. James pointed out nuances, like his fleeting smiles and occasional lip-licking that were clues to Harry's pre-wedding anxiety. While the larger majority of the 29.2 million viewers who tuned in to watch the globally televised event may not have been able to catch these giveaways with such expertise, it would have been hard for them to miss other emotions Harry was expressly displaying.
I, Harry, take you, Meghan.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
There were endless moments of deep love between the couple, evident through telltale signs like hand-holding and eye contact. As body language expert Blanca Cobb explained to Cosmopolitan, Harry and Meghan were often using physical touch to communicate their mutual affection, even when they were looking in different directions. For her part, Meghan also contributed heavily to this effort, with experts deeming her to be the more confident and relaxed of the two at the ceremony. Besides the doe-eyed Disney princess gaze she kept flashing at Harry, James observed that her body was free of any typical signs of anxiety, such as nervous fidgeting. Making a royal exit from his family was a sensational move, but it might just have been a massively favourable one for Prince Harry. After he left his homeland with Meghan Markle, Harry visibly took on a lighter demeanour. Judy James told Express that the couple's migration from Britain to Canada had the prince looking much more cheerful and enthusiastic than he had in years prior. She explained, "His wide, eye-crinkling smile looks authentic and congruent and a million miles from the very haunted eye expression he was often seen sporting in the UK." She went on to point out that the more informal attire Harry had donned has only cemented his newfound tranquility. Dr. Terry Orbach, a renowned relationship expert, attested to this view, telling Women's Health that Harry looked, quote, less stiff since heading across the ocean. Expert observers have long highlighted Meghan and Harry's synchronised body language, which can often signify a deep romance between partners. This show of love and support was gloriously on display even in the weeks leading up to the pair's official relocation from Britain. Speaking about images from the pair's rain-flecked outing to the 2020 Endeavour Awards, expert Patty Wood observed to Reader's Digest that the way they stood by one another suggested that they were both acting as a pillar of support and immense esteem for their partner. The Invictus Games are Prince Harry's brainchild, so it would be natural to assume he's pretty comfortable at the annual event. The sports gathering organised for men and women in uniform has, since its inception in 2014, been the backdrop for some of the best moments in the prince's life. Lately, however, Harry has seemed more tense than usual at event proceedings. A notable deviation from his generally proper body language came about in the middle of a sit-down interview with today's host at the 2022 Games, Hoda Kotb. During the conversation, he briefly ran his hands down his knees to his calves in an act body language expert Louise Marler called turtling, or re-entering his shell.
That looks like he's sitting down for a nice, relaxed, friendly chat.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Nobody puts their hands in.
The moment could also be pinned down to the subject matter of the interview, which related to Harry's meeting with his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, whom he was once close to. The run-up to the 2023 Games didn't seem to be progressing too comfortably for Harry either, who was spotted looking rather stressed at a pre-event celebration in Germany. As Judy James pointed out in an interview with The Sun, the prince's body language seemed a little too cautious, making him appear very ill at ease in front of the camera. It seems that Meghan may have picked up on this, as she appeared to lean into him for support. King Charles's coronation in May 2023 was exceptional for many reasons, not the least of which was the fact that Prince Harry was there. By the day of the coronation, this was not much of a surprise, as it had been announced in the weeks leading up to the event that Harry would attend. Even so, all eyes were naturally on the runaway prince that day, and he didn't even have Markle by his side to support him. With so much existing conflict between him and the rest of the royal family, Harry displayed a variety of somber emotions throughout the proceedings. Speaking with Cosmopolitan, Blanca Cobb pointed out out. His smile is tense as his lips are held tight and the corners pull out slightly. Additionally, there's a seriousness in his eyes as his bottom eyelids appear tight. Possibly due to his step back from his working royal role, Harry was also deprived of certain privileges at the event, including a seat up front with his brother and sister-in-law in their new roles as Prince and Princess of Wales. Cameras did capture the odd smile from Harry, but it was no indication of his amity with the rest of the royals, according to expert Tracy Brown. Brown stated to Us Weekly that she did not observe any signs of a thaw between him and his family, so it only makes sense that Harry didn't hang around long after the coronation. According to the BBC, he had left Britain by the end of the day. Following his exit from the royal family, Prince Harry's life has been a series of bold moves. In 2022, he was part of the Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan that gave an up-close insight into his strained relationship with his family. The 6-part show saw Harry intimately and often uncomfortably describe the dynamic he shares with his father and older brother. As body language pundit Darren Stanton told the New York Post, while recounting a particularly tense meeting with William, Charles, and the Queen, Harry's expression jumped to what was almost certainly anger. Harry's enduring tensions with William were also observed by Blanca Cobb. Speaking to Bustle about the way he curls his lip when talking about his older brother, Cobb went so far as to suggest he feels contempt towards the Prince of Wales. Another wide-ranging observation that was consistent across the board of experts commentating on the docuseries was Harry's honest love for Meghan, which is evident in their playful interactions and loads of eye contact.
When it came to Meghan, that was, I guess, the case of finding a needle in a haystack.
Meghan Markle's pregnancy wasn't just cause for celebration for her family. Many royal admirers were thrilled by the prospect of the British throne's newest heir. Between the press and the public, attention towards Meghan maximised exponentially, and her ever-loyal husband, Prince Harry, was right by her side. Speaking with Cosmopolitan, Judy James pointed out that while out in public, Harry would often walk slightly in front of Meghan, almost acting as her, quote, bodyguard. True to his role as a protector and soon-to-be father, he was thoroughly watchful, turning to check on his wife every now and then during public appearances. Since Harry and Meghan continued completing their royal duties well into Meghan's term, body language experts had plenty to chew on during her pregnancy. In an interview with Us Weekly, Blanca Cobb broke down certain gestures Harry exhibited while on their Australian tour that further cemented his protective nature to the public. Silent actions like giving Meghan reassuring smiles or placing his hand on her back signalled his supportive presence. Their in-sync energy lasted well into their initial days as parents, when they were finally photographed with Archie at Windsor Castle in 2019. Cobb pointed out to Oprah Daily that an overjoyed Harry seemed to have settled into fatherhood comfortably, holding his son in a delightfully relaxed embrace for press pictures. Whispers of a rift between Princes William and Harry had dominated unofficial royal bulletins long before the younger sibling announced that he would no longer be a working member of the British monarchy. Even so, in the midst of the unfolding drama, Harry and William reunited in July 2021 for the unveiling of a full-size statue dedicated to Princess Diana on the grounds of Kensington Palace. Though the brothers could be seen laughing together throughout the event, body language experts couldn't help but notice an array of inconsistent behaviours between the supposedly warring brothers. Expert Tony Coleman emphasised that the pair seemed notably out of sync throughout the event and explained to Pure Wow that one of Harry's nervous habits shone through quite clearly during the proceedings. She observed, Harry's jacket-pulling gesture can signify nervousness and is often a self-soothing gesture that helps distract him. Although neither William nor Harry seemed particularly comfortable at the unveiling, Harry was generally perceived to be in higher spirits than his brother. As Patty Wood told Marie Claire, he even seemed to try to engage his brother in conversation, but William appeared less inclined to give his little brother his attention. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021 was a goldmine for body language analysts worldwide. Their conversation on mental health, friction with the press, and alleged racism within the British royal family was rife with many clues in Meghan and Harry's physical conduct throughout the CBS special. While expert opinion postulated that Meghan underwent a rollercoaster of emotions through the chat, viewers generally agreed that Harry seemed ultimately stressed during the interview. As expert Karen Donaldson told Women's Health, hinting Comments in his stance, like fidgeting with his wedding ring and sitting with crossed ankles, suggested he was in, quote, protection mode while sitting the interview. His unease was especially noticeable when he spoke about his family. Communication guru Patty Wood even went as far as to describe Harry as collapsed, telling Marie Claire, "If you look at Harry, you'll see he has his hand and arm to protect his masculinity." Something that was consistent in commentary across the board was that Harry and Meghan waded through the difficult interview by relying on each other. Wood presumed that the couple took any opportunity they could to be in physical contact, while Donaldson suggested that Harry's especially tight grasping of Meghan's hand implied that he was in greater need for support at the time.